So, how about we actually talk about Death Sentence? No japes, no jokes, it's not April Fool's anymore. Let's talk about Death Sentence. Death Sentence, formerly One Down, is the toughest difficulty standing between heisters and true criminal glory. Note that One Down is a modifier now. I could have made a 2 different One Down builds video and played normal One Down, and it's technically not a false advertisement. That was actually my backup plan for April Fool's if I couldn't finish Hoxton's Breakout in time, but I don't play like that. We're taking the toughest legit difficulty. The jump from Mayhem to Death Wish isn't terribly challenging aside from more frequent skull dozers and the addition of the Vulcan dozer or minigun dozer or whatever you want to call this chav. But Death Wish to Death Sentence? Yeah, let's just say there's a good reason it goes from being a wish to an inevitability. The usual enemies in Death Sentence, the Zeal team, do 225 damage a shot with their rifles. There's still shotguns and pistols and KSPs and chain guns and the occasional MP5, but when one shot could take a player with full health but 0 armor down to just 5 health, you know there's a problem. Death Sentence takes a lot of skill, a lot of careful planning, a lot of perseverance, and just a lot of luck to bust through even the easier missions. Let me preface this with a few warnings. I am no expert in Death Sentence or One Down. I mostly stick to Mayhem and Death Wish when I play Payday because it's enough challenge for me. I feel I can complete most heists just fine, but at the same time I can still fail those. There's still challenge and tension, but only to a manageable degree. Enough that there's intensity, but not enough to the point of unfairness. Until a few weeks ago, Death Sentence and One Down went untouched by me unless I could cheese the heist like Ukrainian Job, where you just stealth grab the tiara and run. Additionally, these builds are how I made them, and are not a catch-all set of necessary skills or weapons. This is just what I ran for the sake of putting the build together for me. Adapt these as you need to suit your playstyle. Want to run a different weapon? Just make a skill change if needed and swap it out and give it a shot. With those disclaimers out of the way, let's get to the builds. This first build's core skills begin with Aced Painkillers, Combat Doctor, and Inspire. This is the bread and butter of Death Sentence or One Down. This lets me revive people. They take less damage while revived, and it gives me plenty of Doctor Bag uses if I need them. Rather, as I need them. On Death Sentence, going down is an inevitability, and Inspire and plenty of Doc Bags are a necessity. Don't skip out here. I then grab Shotgun Impact and CQB Aced, Basic Close By, and Overkill for some shotgun skills. I've got Transporter, Bullseye Basic, Shotgun On, and Iron Man Basic for some armor. Here I will offer a deviation. I have Resilience Aced, but you could skip out on it and shuffle some points around for Die Hard Aced if you want to run a Ballistic Vest, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Duck and Cover, Parkour, and Second Wind Basic for some movement speed increases so we're not hanging around out of cover so much. And Aced 9 Lives, Swan Song, Bloodthirst, Berserker, and Basic Frenzy. Inspire, Swansong, and 9 Lives are the 3 most important skills on Death Sentence. You need to be able to take a beating, dish out damage to clear some space, and help people back up without putting yourself at risk. There's not much play here like most of my other builds would have, but there's still some. Use it as much as you can, as needed. My primary is the M1014 shotgun. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd choice, but let's go over the mods, and then I'll explain myself. Triple up buckshot, long barrel, shark tooth nozzle, or a horizontal leveler, a laser and or flashlight of choice, and then the tactical solid stock. The M1014 wasn't my first choice as shotgun. If I had it my way, this would have been an Yzma, but most of the auto shotguns are a bit too weak to stay relevant for very long, and it just costs a lot of skill points to keep the magazines big. Most stronger shotguns are very slow to fire and load, so the M1014 is a very Goldilocks type weapon. It strikes a really great balance. 86.4 base damage at 429 shells a minute, theoretically letting us shoot this thing over 40 times during Swan Song if we can click fast enough. If you can click 40 times in 6 seconds, you've got a new friend. The only faster shotguns in the primary slot are the Moscone and Jocelyn, which can work, but you'll be reloading a lot. Technically, the Brothers Grimm are faster since you're firing 2 shotguns at once, but you'll need a lot of shells to match just one of the M1014s. If you want to be out of cover shooting that much, I won't stop you, but maybe the Zeal team will. My secondary could be either the Judge or the GSPS, another strong shotgun. I picked the GSPS because it's a beauty of a gun with this skin. Triple Odd Buck, horizontal leveler, or the shark tooth nozzle, laser flashlight, and I have the riot barrel and stakeout stock as well because I can. Also, it cuts the accuracy down a lot, and you want low accuracy with the shotguns in Payday because the Overkill doesn't know how to make a shotgun in a video game. With the Judge, you really only need the laser, one of the barrel extensions, and Triple Odd Buck, but either way, we have a reliable tool to take out tougher enemies that give us a hard time, alongside a quick means to dispatch overzealous Zeal Zealots. Wait, does that work, or is that just the same word 3 times? Uh-oh. Oh, I should have written a second draft. My melee is the katana, my throwable is Molotovs, leave behind a sea of flames to clear out chuck points. I have Doc Bags, the suit, and Anarchist. Normally I'd run Anarchist with the light ballistic vest, but I've opted for the suit here for a bit of dodge and to keep my speed up. I wouldn't run more than the light ballistic vest unless you want to completely rework this into an ICTV build, but we shouldn't need to. Before we talk this build, let's talk the rules of Death Sentence. Stick to your team, don't spread out too much. Even a little overextending can send a whole team down. Stay behind cover, don't get caught with your pants down, and just keep everybody safe. You're going to go down a lot. That's why you've got Inspire, so you can help everybody else up. 9 lives gives you an extra down, which is good even on the 1 down modifier. And you've got so many dock bags that if everyone just uses their own dock bags, you've got 8 charges the dock bags, which is good for 32 downs. So don't feel guilty if you're going down a lot. If everyone brings 2 dock bags that are fully charged, you have plenty to go around. With that in mind, this build works perfectly fine. I've played it with bots, I've played it without. We have 200 armor, and for the most part, enemies can't break nor health reserves. With Anarchist and Bullseye, as long as we have any armor, the most that can happen is we take armor damage, but not health damage. Though if our armor does break and we start getting shot at, we have the need to retreat to let Anarchist give us a bit to work with, or get a headshot kill with either shotgun. The M1014, as long as we get 1 kill prior, will do about 150 damage a shot, which will let us 1-shot the light SWATs and 2-shot the heavies. The GSPS can 1-shot everyone but tasers and bulldozers after 1 kill, and 1-shots lights to begin with. So in a pinch, we could get the kill with the GSPS, switch off to the 1014, and unload the 10 shell tube into a crowd and mow them down. If we do end up going down, no sweat, we've got 6 seconds of unlimited ammo. Switch off to the M1014, and as long as it's got 1 shell left, you're looking about 1,000 damage a second or so, which should let you handle whatever brought you down and then some. This build works. I honestly like it. And again, play around with it, see if you can get it working for the shotguns you enjoy. You never know. Unless you're talking about the Street Sweeper, the Grim, or the Goliath. You will know. You'll know right now. The answer is no. Now, before we talk about our second build, I'm going to take a quick detour to talk about Armorer. And before we can talk Armorer, we need to talk armor suppression. So, if you're getting shot at, even if you're not taking damage, your armor will not regenerate. You need to get people to stop shooting at you by putting enough distance between you and the people shooting in order to bring your armor back. One of the builds I had proposed for this video was an LMG with the ICTV and Armorer, and while I don't think it was good enough to make this a 3 different Death Sentence builds video, I feel I do need to mention Armorer is a great perk deck for Death Sentence, as not only does it make the ICTV boast 280 armor, but once it breaks, you get 2 seconds of invincibility. Attach Second Wind and Optical Illusions to this, and you've got a good getaway tool, so you can get your bearings and bring your armor back up. It's great for dealing with armor suppression. Anarchist has a similar perk, but if you're short on DLC, you might want to give Armorer and the ICTV a shot. I actually enjoyed it. I normally don't enjoy Armorer. And now back to the regularly scheduled programming, our second actual build. My skills begin with the same medic skills, but I have Joker, Basic, and Partners in Crime aced to boost my health even further. I've got Stable Shot, Aggressive Reload, and Graze aced with the basic ammo efficiency. Yeah, it's a sniper build. Spoiler alert. Aced Resilience and Die Hard, Basic Bullseye, and Iron Man for plenty of armor. Basic Steady Grip, aced Duck and Cover this time. And I just have 9 lives, Swan Song, and Feign Death aced. Again, feel free to play with these skills as you need. As long as Painkillers, Combat Doctor, Inspire, 9 lives, and Swan Song are there, the rest should go in an even mix of self-preservation and gun boosts. Now, what guns are we talking about? Well, it's a sniper for the primary. We could run a Thanatos in this build, but I personally went with the R93. I like the R93 more than I like the Desert Fox, Najan, or the Platypus due to its larger magazine, though I promise the 3 are pretty much interchangeable either way. Richt Punk Magnifier Gadget, a -1 sight, and the wooden body, and that's all the mods I need. The R93 deals 480 damage base, which is great because 479 damage is a breakpoint needed to one-hit every enemy on headshot aside from the Bulldozer. And with Graze, 1 headshot can easily lead to 3 or more deaths, which is that many fewer enemies we need to deal with, which means our 6-round mag will go a lot further. My secondary in this build is the Broomstick, but that's mostly just because it's perfect without many skills. I also debated running the China Puff or the Compact 40. Honestly, take your pick. With the Broomstick, I packed a Jungle Ninja Suppressor for some accuracy and stability, an accuracy boost, a combined module, the high capacity mag, the red dot sight, the precision barrel, and the holster stock. They are perfectly normal old pistol. That's what pistols look like. I'm running the Kunai as my melee, Molotovs again, dock bags, and this time I opted for Crook. I've got a good mix of lots of armor and plenty good dodge. If you're also going to run Crook, play around with the armor values versus the dodge rating. You could always run Rogue with the suit if you don't like having all this armor and you'd rather have a lot of dodge. I just didn't feel like running a lot of dodge. A lot of people run rogue in the death sentence builds and the one down builds. I felt it was cliche. I tried out Crook. Instead of popping out to empty a magazine into a crowd to make a run for it, you'll also be quick-scoping enemies from behind cover and letting Greys handle the rest of the work. We'll clear some pretty good thoroughfares to get the crew through, and if we need to move, dodge will cover us for a shot or two, and from there the sheer amount of armor we'll have will keep us up for a couple more rounds. This build works pretty good, especially for Crook being the sort of black sheep perk deck a lot of people don't like. It's still a good choice if you know how to use it, which is just use it like you would use a dodge deck, but with armor too. So there you have it, a couple of the ways I make Death Sentence a deathly cool way of the heist. End of sentence. As long as you're running enough medic and revenant skills and bolster that with the right amount of self-preservation, like more armor, some team playing skills, and some weapon skills, you can rock the highest difficulty. Will it be easy? No. It's a super high skill game right here, and you will lose a lot of heists. But with the right tools, you can easily kick those odds that are stacked against you right in the teeth. These two builds work with or without bots, and while you could go pubbing, I would strongly recommend you stick to single objective heists, missions where you're not moving a lot of bags or traveling a whole lot. Additionally, avoid heists with a lot of direct aggressive combat like Panic Room, where you need to specifically kill certain amounts of enemies in order to progress. Stay away from those until you feel more comfortable with Death Sentence. Stealing Xmas and Brooklyn Bank are my personal two favorite Death Sentence missions. They're compact with lots of cover, and you're not doing a lot of bag moving, maybe chucking a bag into the center of the map, but in Brooklyn Bank you don't even need the loot. Just grab the medallion and run. They're rather short, and they offer a lot of different ways to use your arsenal, no matter what you're running. Counterfeit's another good choice. I mean, just experiment, play some of your favorite maps, look over your builds once or twice, and if everything goes right, it'll be Payday before you know it. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, see you around. What? A Death Sentence 1-down video? Just run these builds and use your dock bags more often. Hey, if I'm including this at the end of the video, then that means that my Discord is now public. I've figured out how to give patrons their own special rank or room or something. Patrons, you will receive that information when it becomes available. The rest of y'all can join the Discord in the link right at the top of the description. Hope to see you there. I don't use Discord very much, but when I check in, oh boy, there's gonna be some memes. Oh, I can already feel them. Oh no. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, I'd recommend subscribing. Patreon and social media links are in the description.